Another long run in March.
Back-to-back Final Fours and actually got to the finals last year. He'd like to be able to cap it off with a national championship win with this team.
Baba Miller and Jizzle James will bring it up for Cincinnati.
It's going to be important that Cincinnati attacks in the middle of the floor. Anything on the side, on the box, on the baseline is going to get double teamed.
James harassed on the perimeter. Here's Miller, 10 to shoot. The talented transfer with the skip into the corner. The three is up and off, rebounded by Emmanuel Sharp.
It's a really good look from Cincinnati. Those open threes, they must make them on the road for a team that doesn't shoot it well. Only 28% from three in conference play.
They attempt a lot, more than they've ever attempted in Cincinnati history. Over 27 attempts from three per game.
And that's what you'll see, folks. Any post catches, both teams will double from the baseline side.
Here's Uzan with 5 to shoot. Trying to find some room against James. 2 to shoot. Flemings has to launch the deep three. What did we talk about to start? Defense? We saw it there.
Indeed, the rotation, the communication, excellent here early for the Bearcats.
Here's Miller. The push pass into the corner. Celestine will back it out. Drop it off to Chom. Turnaround jumper halfway down, and it rattles out to Chris Cenac.
You've got to be pleased here early. Cincinnati is able to get some really clean looks against a stifling defense of the Cougars.
Here's Flemings. Elbow jumper will not go. He's been so hot. 3 straight 20-plus games, averaging almost 30 points per game the last 3.
7 of 15 from 3 as well.
Quick drive, and there's the swat for Joseph Tugler. Few do it better than Tugler as a shot blocker.
6'8", 7'6" wingspan, and anything at the basket, he's hunting it down. And I love the fact he's able to block it with the proper hand, which is the left. For Cincinnati this afternoon, when they get into the painted area, they got to think kick the basketball, because those bigs from Houston are coming and try to erase the shot.
Here's Chom, the handoff to James. In the corner, it's Thomas. That three won't go. Loose ball rebounded by Sharp.
It's another wide open look from Cincinnati. They've got to be able to make those this afternoon, Kev.
Uzan on the run, and it pinballs out. And Thomas will push. Falling down, lost his footing, and that's going to go out of bounds off Houston. It'll stay with Cincinnati to break for the Bearcats. That stumble didn't cost them the possession.
Yeah, I love the fact that Dede Thomas was putting pressure on that transition defense, but he's got to come to a 2-foot jump stop in the paint and either take the shot or move it.
Cincinnati 0 for 4 from the floor. Houston 0 for 3 from the floor.
And folks, don't worry, they'll make buckets. It was 4, I think it was 4-4 at the 12-minute mark the last time these two teams played against each other.
I'm going to hold you to that one. It's scoreless at the under 12 in the second half. I'm going to ask you again if they're going to score points. Here's Miller sizing up Cenac.
Good cut.
And then the fumble out of bounds by Thomas.
Both teams a little unsettled here early. That defense on both sides has been impressive here early. Both teams need to settle down a little bit and try to get something at the front of the rim.
Uzan, he'll launch from deep. Still a lid on the baskets. And the ball scooped away by Jizzle James.
Got numbers here.
Trying to hurry it up, and Houston recovers.
Yeah, Mustafa Cham is posted hard, 52 in black. They've got to deliver the basketball to him, especially when he's got 2 feet in the paint.
There's Cham at the free throw line, and we have points. 3 minutes in, and Cincinnati's on the board.
I told you it was coming, Kevin. It was just a matter of time. Cincinnati's been able to get some good looks, but that's a good read on the short roll there by Mustafa Cham. They're going to stay off of him. He's got to be willing to take that little 15-foot jump shot, and he did it there.
Flemings from the free throw line, no, but a foul. And Flemings will go to the line. Well, it's worth seeing again the first points of the game.
Yeah, on these screen and roll actions, because of the drop coverage that's being played, Tugler's way underneath the basket, and that'll create those wide open little 15-foot jump shots. And Mustafa Cham's going to have to make good decisions, either take the shot or move the basketball. That time the shot was available, and he knocks it down from 15.
one of 6 freshmen in the major conferences to lead his team in both points and assists. Kingston Flemings has just been tremendous this year, and Kelvin Sampson was talking about him before the game, and he said, look, you can't teach somebody to get into the paint like Kingston Flemings does. He came here knowing how to do that. He lives in the paint as a guard, getting to that rim.
He has a very mature game, wise beyond his years, and he's unflappable. Regardless of how much pressure is on him, he just plays at his own pace and rhythm, and he's been fantastic on the year.
Looking baseline, Miller. Good skip. Shot fake by Thomas. Steps in for 2. Off the side of that rim, and the rebound secured by Uzan.
Another pretty good look from the Bearcats.
Here's Flemings. Drops it off in the paint. Sacco, no. Miller, the rebound.
Yeah, the length of Chom bothered Sacco on that shot.
Here's Chom against Khalifa Sacco. Short on that jumper. And Houston with another board.
Yeah, Chom can usually make that. He's pretty good with his facing up from the post area.
Cenac. That 3 dies on the side iron. Offensive rebound, Sacco. Good find inside. Cenac won't miss that one.
Myros Uzan, eyes up, able to find Sacco on the interior, and a very quick leap and dunk there.
James harassed by Sharp. Gets to the logo for 2.
He's the guy that's got to get going for the Bearcats. In 11 games, he's played 14 points a game in their wins, only 8 in their losses. Vital to the offensive production for the Bearcats.
We were talking before the game with Wes Miller, and he said, we're 2 different offensive teams.
Yeah.
One with Jizzle James and one without Jizzle James, and he likes the one with him better.
Yeah, a little zone look here from Cincinnati. The ball's got to touch that foul line area or short corner, and attack from there.
In the corner, Sharp's 3. Won't go. Good bat out by Flemings. Sharp will try again. Got an open look. This time he'll cash it in. Number 267 in his career from range.
He's so good from 3. 40% from 3 on the year. Day Thomas slow getting out to that closeout, and that's what created that wide open look.
Short for Celestine and out of bounds, and that'll take us to immediate timeout. There's some tired guys out there right now. They've been working hard on both ends of the floor.
They really have, getting after each other on the defensive end, and a little scramble here. Good cut by Cenac. They're able to dunk that one in over the top. The Houston Cougars up 2 here, but Jizzle James able to get into that 15-foot area and able to knock that one down. Close game here on the road. Jump shot by Jizzle James will do just that.
Houston started 0 for 6. They've hit 2 of their last 3 from the floor. See if the offense is cranking it up again. Sharp working against Kirk Kriisa off the bench, and there's Sharp. He hit that 3, goes right back and gets 2 more.
And Kevin, I was going to say, Houston's going to look to exploit him on the defensive end with their bigger guards, whether they post them or driving them. That's good recognition there by Emmanuel Sharp.
Keyshawn Tillery to work against Sharp. Kriisa double pushes him out near the half-court line. 8 to shoot for Miller against Cenac. Tough hands in traffic, and good work by McKinley just to throw that to the rim when he felt the contact inside.
Yeah, that's really good hands, because I thought he was going to bobble that one and it was going to go out of bounds, because that was a really quick pass underneath by Baba Miller. Baba Miller has really grown as a passer this year. We know about his versatility, but right now when he sees 2 guys, he's just really finding the open guy. It just shows the maturity and the growth in his game.
It was interesting to hear Kelvin Sampson talk about him, and he said he is Cincinnati's best passer. And that's high praise from a coach like Kelvin Sampson to say that about a 6'11" post. This really goes to your point about the evolution and the growth in the game of Baba Miller.
Yes, he's averaging 14 points, 11 rebounds, obviously a double-double there, but he's also averaging 3 assists a game, and at 6'11", he can see over the top of most double teams, and the ability to be able to deliver it with either hand, impressive.
He'll likely get plenty of practice doing that today as Flemings on the lob inside to Chris Cenac for the flush.
Anytime you can get dribble penetration to the rim, the big guy typically steps up. That opens up the backside for the lob. Good execution there by the Cougars.
McKinley zips that pass a little low, and it's out of bounds. A turnover trying to get it to James in the corner.
Well, folks, watch as the basketball enters the paint. All of a sudden, Baba Miller jumps up there, and it opens up the backside. And what a beautiful read and pass by Kingston Flemings. We talked about that guy being beyond his years. Not only his ability to be able to score it, but the recognition of when to give it up and putting that pass right on target. He's had an extraordinary year.
Flemings to the elbow. That jump stop, everything but the bucket there, and it's cleaned up by McKinley. Cincinnati looking for points here. Stuck on 5 for a while. In the corner, Krisa. That three will roll home. The first from range for Cincinnati.
And we talked about it earlier, being able to get out and try to get early offense against the staunch defense of both teams. Cincinnati taking advantage there.
$15 to shoot for Sharp. He'll launch. And the rebound, Miller. 5 already for Baba Miller, and it'll belong to Cincinnati.
Folks, it's going to be important for Cincinnati playing against this Houston team on the road, trying to play ahead of the defense. And this is secondary offense here, secondary transition here. Able to skip it across. You get one guy guarding 2, the extra pass, and able to knock down the 3. Cincinnati's got to continue to try to play ahead of this defense to get easy offense, as they did there.
Miller lost it, taken away by Cenac.
Tugler may have taken a shot in the eye.
Trying to shake that off as he runs up the floor. Fuzan. The floater drops.
Notice who was guarding them there, Kev. They're going to continue to go at Kirk Krisa off the bounce.
Here's James. Jizzle James, 2 points in the early going, 1 for 3 from the floor. Miller, little Euro step to the rim. Oh my! Hung there forever and it wouldn't drop.
Yeah, I thought he should have just banked that one off the glass. He was already there, and at 6'11" would have been an easier shot.
Flemings hesitates, now on the drive. Through contact, he'll go to the line for a pair. So Kingston Flemings, the 83% free throw shooter, will head to the line when we return with his Cougars up by 4. Flemings to the mix, and you've got the opportunity to do some damage.
Yeah, equally as dangerous. And the thing I love about this team is they can withstand poor shooting nights because of how dominant they can be on the offensive glass and turning you over. Get 38% of their misses. That's 19th in the country. And they scored 20 points off turnovers, which is 8th in the country. So if you're having a tough night shooting the basketball, they have a different way of being able to make up for that loss on the offensive end.
3 this afternoon for Kingston Flemings. All 3 at the line. Here's Day Thomas back up top to Tillery. He'll step into a 3, and that dies on the back iron, rebounded by Flemings. Looking to push. Can he get transition going? And lost the handle on that ball. It'll go out of bounds.
Yeah, Tillery did a really nice job, number 7 in black, stunting in. And that's what caused them to bobble that basketball out of bounds. Kingston Flemings usually pretty sure-handed off the bounce.
He heard LaFonso Ellis say the team that can get that transition game going is going to have a real advantage.
A little timeout here. They're going to review to see who that basketball is off of. I think Cincinnati made the challenge.
They're going over to check the monitor. They'll let us know.
The call on the floor is Houston's basketball. Cincinnati's coach is using the challenge.
So the coach's challenge coming into play. Watch and see what you think.
I think that's Cincinnati Bearcat basketball. That's clearly off the Kingston Flemings.
Went right off his leg. And this will be Even Flemings knew. He's going to have to get a better poker face if he's going to continue to play basketball. You can't give up the entire situation there with that look on your face.
Don't destroy his innocence. Let the kid be innocent. Come on now.
Feels like a pretty quick challenge for Wes Miller, and one that he's going to win, and he'll get a second challenge later on in the game, assuming he has a timeout. Well, Fred VanVleet checking out a little basketball. Houston Rockets guard
After
in attendance.
review, the call has been reversed. Cincinnati wins the challenge and will keep their timeout.
Fred VanVleet has had an extraordinary career. World champion out of Wichita State. And longevity in the league as well. And that Houston team is already dangerous, but if he can get back in the lineup, that team could make a deep run in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, how good were his shocker teams? Day Thomas, hand check. Isaiah Harwell picks up the personal, his first, team second.
Yeah, Isaiah Harwell has to make him use that screen because there's not a whole lot of help at the baseline side, especially for a Day Thomas who's really good at pulling up from 15 feet before that baseline help can get there.
Jordi Rodriguez will inbound for Cincinnati. Here's Rodriguez. 5 to shoot. Krisa's going to have to launch this one. Krisa trapped in the corner, needs some help, and they're not going to get the shot off. Looked like a shot clock violation, and it was.
What a defensive possession by the Cougars. Guarded all of that action really well. Ball screens, bluff screens, and able to double him over in the wing and take away his vision to be able to find anyone open. Man, the Houston Cougars, that defense can be stifling.
4th turnover already for Cincinnati. 1 so far for Houston. And that one required a challenge to confirm it. Here's Sharp in the paint from the logo. Look at that offensive rebound by Tugler out to Harwell for 3. And now a defensive rebound with a little English from Mustafa Cham. Takeaway. Uzan doesn't have numbers. Walker the trail. Good recovery by the Bearcats.
It really was.
Uzan. Oh, spiked. Cham slamming the door.
I love bigs that patrol the lane.
Well, Krisa wanted to shoot that in the worst way. Thomas looking. Krisa's open. Now he'll get his shot up. Rebound swatted out, and it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Cincinnati ball.
Folks, I love bigs that patrol the lane, and they cover their guards by coming over, and that's perfect timing. Handler is so concentrating on the guy that's defending him. Perfect time for bigs to be able to come over and block that shot. Well done by Mustafa Cham.
Second chance here for Cincinnati. Baba Miller back out on the floor. Kirk Krisa getting the breather. Here's Thomas with 10 to shoot.
Baba Miller's got to get it going on the offensive end. He's been quiet.
Launching the deep 3, and Thomas with the splash. The first second chance points for Cincinnati, and they'll take 3 of them.
Yeah, you can't give Day Thomas any room, folks. He's shooting 40% from 3 on the year. He can shoot him off the catch and shoot and off the bounce. That time off the bounce.
Harwell, elbow jumper. Snaps the twine with Rodriguez chasing.
We worked on that shot extensively yesterday in practice.
So you're saying practice does indeed pay off?
It does indeed, particularly on that possession.
Low skip. Celestine will take it baseline, and he'll pull up for 2. No Sean Abayev today. Yeah. There's no Sincere Harris today. So Jalen Celestine, they'd like to see him pop through with some points.
Yeah, high IQ, defends really well out of Baylor. Any extra offense he can give is going to be important.
Harwell, that pinball's out. There's Baba Miller cleaning the glass once more. 6 rebounds for Miller. In transition, that's a deep 3 for Thomas. Long rebound, Rodriguez, and he's fouled by Joseph Tugler. That'll take us to the under 8 media timeout in Houston.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit of game flow. Baba Miller sets a really nice screen. He's to pull off the win.
It's been a tough spot for Coach Hurley to win in his career in Omaha. Those fans will be ready tonight.
Yes. Baba Miller's rebounding the basketball really well with 6 rebounds, but he's got to get his offense going too to help his team.
He'll enter it down low to Chom. 1 to shoot, and they're not going to get a shot up again. Second time they've turned it over on a shot clock violation. 6th turnover of the afternoon already.
Yeah, Chris Cenac doing a really nice job of playing in the gap here, forcing them to pass that basketball. Baba Miller's got to be willing to take that shot, and then the rotation underneath by Mercy Miller. Well done by Houston.
Now, can Houston cash in? On the previous 5 turnovers, only 2 points have been scored for the Cougars. So Cincinnati's been able to D up when they've needed to. Sharp will try to get it going. And there's 2 more off turnover.
Yeah, big bully guard in Emmanuel Sharp. Anytime he wants to put it on the floor against the smaller guards of Cincinnati and he can get below the foul line, that's a really good look for the Houston Cougars and good recognition by Sharp.
And the Midwest Regional Most Outstanding Player a year ago with 7 to lead the way for Houston so far. Shot clock under 10 once more. Day Thomas with 5 to shoot, drops it into Chom, punched back up by Miller. Chom ends up with it and can't put that one in.
Missed the shot, but I love the quick decision by Chom.
Sharp's feeling it. Out to Cenac. That 3 will drop for Chris Cenac, and a timeout taken by Cincinnati.
Folks, I love Emmanuel Sharp. He can play the D, but he's a big bully guard on the offensive end, able to create space and get that one up. And Chris Cenac, I watched him drill 10 of those from that exact same spot yesterday after practice, putting in the work, and it's paying off for the freshman. Cenac
now with 7 to join Sharp atop the leaderboard for Houston. Each team 2 of 8 from 3. Emmanuel Sharp showing up early for this Houston Cougars squad.
Well, he's been brilliant all year long. 22 points a game over his last 2. Hadn't shot the basketball well from 3, and I love the fact that he's not relying on it. He's getting to his spots with his pull-up J. He's been brilliant here in the first half with 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting in this game.
3 rebounds as well for a Houston team that is currently being out-rebounded 15-12. Part of that is the fact that Cincinnati has gone 5 of 18 from the floor. They're struggling to shoot, and it's giving you some rebounding opportunities.
And Kevin, when you're playing against a really good defense, you got to take the first really good shot available. Cincinnati's been passing up a bunch of early looks, and that's been getting them late in the shot clock, which benefits the Cougars.
Here they go again. Thomas pushed out near the half-court line. Shot clock down to 10. Miller, 7 to shoot. Can he get the offense going? James, rebound, lost it. Turnover to Houston.
And Jizzle James has been out of sorts in this game. He's got to settle down. Number 2 in black. He's got to be able to give this Cincinnati Bearcat team some offense, which he typically does.
Baba Miller 0 for 2 now from the floor. Cenac again from 3. Cenac is heating up, and so are the Cougars, up by 11, an 8-0 run.
He's had some major moments against high major competition. 18 points against Auburn and 18 against Arizona State. They worked on this a lot, the Houston Cougars yesterday, what we call a ghost screen, which essentially going to set the screen and then slipping out of it and being able to knock those down. Chris Cenac is in a really good groove right now.
And it goes from bad to worse as Mustafa Chom goes down and limps to the sideline. He's having his ankle looked at by the athletic training staff.
This team has been banged up all season long. Abayev's out tonight. Can ill afford to lose Chom.
There's Sincere Harris. He's been out with an illness, missed the Baylor game as well. 8 to shoot. James trying to find any crease to get a shot up, and the rebound, Flemings.
Every shot contested right now for Cincinnati.
5 of 20 from the floor, but a turnover. Celestine trying to snap that 8-0 Houston run.
Kevin, you see how casual that advance was? You've got to push that thing, man, and flatten out that defense, and it'll give Cincinnati some easier offensive opportunities.
They just have not looked to be aggressive. And again, you get late shot clock. Now 8 to shoot, and they have to inbound.
Yes. And that's why playing ahead of the defense is so important for Cincinnati.
I mean, nothing easy today for the Bearcats. Creasa back on the floor.
Nice pass.
McKinley with the finish.
I love that. No indecision there by McKinley as he caught that basketball on that short roll. Need a lot more of that for the Bearcats to soften up this stifling defense of the Houston Cougars. Good defense by Bobby Miller.
Cenac trying the other side, and the same result for Cenac. He's got 13.
Yeah, when you see a guy that's on the road, you got to close him out and make him put that basketball on the floor. Bobby Miller was really casual getting out to that three-point shooter. Cenac made him play.
3 for 4 from 3 for Cenac. And a blocking foul called on Mercy Miller.
Folks, Houston worked. And this is a really good slip here by McKinley, able to finish that one inside. And the freshman Cenac has been on a roll. Three balls in his first half.
We were torn apart at birth.
That's dramatic.
Yeah, coincided with the Houston Cougars turning up the pressure on the defensive end of the floor.
Ball knocked free by Sharp. Loose on the court. It'll be picked up by Houston.
It's a really good stunt by Milos Uzan.
8 turnovers now. Looking for points. It's Cenac again. This time he can't get the roll, and it'll be punched out of bounds to Cincinnati.
All of a sudden, Houston's starting to play with a little bit of pace as well. And we talked about at the top that the team that could win that transition game with both teams being so good defensively would win this game. And the Cougars so far winning that phase.
6-4 points in the paint. Fast break points. Houston getting down the floor a little better than Cincinnati. Here's James from 3. Got a good look, and he knew what to do with it.
Yeah, he's the key, folks. In the 11 games that they've played, the Cincinnati Bearcats averaging 14 points a game, only 8 in their losses. He's so important to the offensive production of the Cincinnati Bearcat team.
5 in this first half for James. And a foul called. McKinley collapsing on Tugler down low.
Yeah, Jizzle James is wired to score, and they need him to be. Didn't hesitate at all. Late on that closeout was Mercy Miller, and he makes him pay for being late.
Came back December 17th after the personal issues that he was dealing with, and Wes Miller told us before the game, our team changed offensively after he came back.
Well, he allows Dede Thomas to be able to play off the basketball and to be able to do what Dede Thomas does, which is score.
Cenac run off that three-point line. Other side to Mercy Miller for 3.
Credit JoJo Tugler, number 11 in white, set that little baseline screen which had Mercy Miller wide open for 3.
30 to 18. Miller still trying to get that offensive game going. 0 for 3 from the floor. He's not scored a point.
Yeah, Cincinnati can't win this game on the road without number 18 getting some buckets on the offensive end.
Uzan trying to get some buckets, and a foul. Tugler going down. A battle for the rebound, and that'll be a personal against McKinley.
And folks, what beautiful ball movement. The skips and shot fakes there. Look at that basketball just pop. But Tugler being able to keep McKinley occupied on the interior keeps him from getting out to the corner. And Mercy Miller drills that one from 3. Man, I thought he'd be musically inclined with his dad being Master P. I didn't know he'd be creating sweet lyrics knocking down the 3 ball. That was impressive.
Sharp. That 3 won't go. And right off the bench, Halvin Zella, as they go deep in the bench with the Chom injury, trying to push. Can they get the push finished with Creasa in the corner? A little better, though, on the movement down the floor.
Yeah, could have gotten it to him a little earlier, and he would have been uncontested. Nice.
Tugler and Zella
That's right.
battling down low. Goodness.
Yes. Double team coming from the baseline.
Spin it around to Miller. Miller with the pull up. He's got 5 straight.
That's so good. A little shot fake and escape dribble, creating space to be able to get that one off. Well done by Mercy Miller. Houston's in a really good flow right now offensively.
And Cincinnati just 29% from the floor in this first half. Shot clock low again.
I thought Kirk Creaser should have taken that corner 3.
Zella put it on the deck, and Tugler swatted it away.
Can have an old saying when you're playing against really good defensive teams: if you don't take the first early open shot, it usually leads to a turnover or a bad shot. And it led to a bad shot on that possession.
About a 9-second difference between game and shot clock here. Uzan. Under 10 to shoot for Houston. In control in this first half. Sharp looking for more, a little strong, and Cincinnati can hold for the last shot if they want. But Tillery will drive and draw the foul.
Love the push. Cincinnati needs more of that. Make the official have to make a call when you're pushing it up in transition and your defensive players in retreat. Some easier opportunities usually avail themselves. Well done there by Keyshawn Tillery.
Second foul on Sharp for Houston, and Tillery to the line. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities this year at the stripe, just 5 of 10. And only the second trip to the charity stripe today for Cincinnati.
Though it doesn't shoot the 3 well, Cincinnati, they're still more of a jump shooting team than they are a driving, get to the rim and finish team. A little bit of that is because their guards are much smaller, and it's disadvantageous for them to try to attack the rim every time down the floor.
Exactly. Freshman Tillery, 2 for 2 on that trip to the line, and now Houston looking for the final shot of the half. But first, the use it or lose it timeout is called by Kelvin Sampson. Sampson and the Cougars will draw up one last offensive play, but a half that he's got to be pleased with really on both ends of the floor. It was a slow start offensively. They figured out the offensive end, but the defense has been consistent since the jump.
Because, Kevin, what have we seen now from Houston? What, 5 possessions now where they forced a shot clock violation? And you can see Coach Sampson, every time it happens, he's pumping his fist over there. So to your point, he's got to be pleased with the defensive side, the hustle, the energy, the effort, and the fact that they've been locked in terms of their communication as well. Something he talked about extensively at the practice yesterday.
Wes Miller trying to break through against Kelvin Sampson. 0 for 10 in his career against Kelvin Sampson. Now that's not exactly unique company. Kelvin Sampson's got 817 wins in his career. He's beaten a lot of coaches. The launch, short, halftime arrives. Maybe not what they were looking for out of Harwell in the late stages of this first half. But otherwise, Houston goes into the locker room feeling pretty good.
Yeah, the defense
program rolling at home, up by 12 as we start this second half.
Defense travels, but it's also nice to have it at home. Cincinnati out here, so 1-3-1 zone here. Gonna attack the middle of it or attack the short corner. Nice.
10 to shoot. Flemings. The skip open. Uzan in the corner for 3. Too easy.
Yeah, dribble penetration against that 1-3-1 causes it to contract. And if you can get a skip to the weak side of the floor, you can get a wide open look, just as Houston did there.
15-point advantage for the Cougars. Here's Baba Miller. The double runs at him. He has not scored in this game with a foul call.
Folks, watch this dribble penetration here. We talk about getting it close or in the painted area, and then all of a sudden that thing contracts. And when you can get it to do that, now it creates a long run on the closeout. And Milo Uzan drills that one from 3.
But Baba Miller's got to get that going offensively. You said it in the first half, Fonz. Cincinnati cannot win on the road if he doesn't score.
Have no shot at winning this game. Need it. Take the shot.
A wide open 3, and instead you run into traffic. And now the shot clock's at 8. Thomas will take that shot. gets his own miss, and then the turnover. Sharp takes it away, and a foul on Day Thomas. Number 2 on Thomas.
We just underscored how connected that defense is, but part of that is having active hands and taking away windows. And I think Emmanuel Sharp took one in the face there.
Yeah, inadvertent or not, it's still going to sting.
Had a few of those.
I would imagine.
They're still there, too. Looks like an upside-down F. That nose hurt.
And it didn't make it feel any better when they said, oh, I'm sorry, that was inadvertent.
Exactly.
Oh, thanks. I feel better now.
Right? I appreciate it. And continue to attack the gaps. Get 2 on the basketball and look to skip it.
Drop off to Tugler.
Nice.
And in for an easy 2.
Get that basketball in the middle of the floor against the zone. You get one-on-one opportunities or 2 on the basketball, and you could skip it. That time one-on-one, and Tugler just took his time and scored over the top.
And going the other way.
Folks, we've seen Houston drive the gap against the 1-3-1. Now this time throwing it to the post area. And that's an area of JoJo Tugler's game that he's been working on intensely, as he did yesterday. Took about 15, 30 shots from that very same spot against defense. He looked very comfortable on that one.
Flemings just 3 points, finds Sharp for 3 points. That won't go. Rebound off the foot of Miller, but it goes out of bounds, and it'll belong to Cincinnati. Looked like it went off Miller's foot, but it must have gotten Cenac underneath.
Let's see, both guys battling for the basketball, and yes, that's off Cenac's back of his left leg. Kevin Jizzle James, number 2 in black. And number 18 there, Baba Miller. Got to get it going offensively in the second half if Cincinnati have any chance.
Miller gets his own miss and a foul. Bodies all over the place. Almost lost one of our 3 officials as well.
he wasn't too happy about that.
No, he was not.
You see that glare he cut Baba Miller?
To shoot for Celestine. Miller, the cut, McKinley. Quick pass out, Celestine for 3, banks it home.
I tell you, on Saturday, you take it any way you can get it against the stout Houston Cougar defense.
Yeah, when you have 20 points on the board 2 minutes into the second half,
right?
You don't care how the 3 falls.
You could kick it in.
Tugler driving into that through traffic and a foul. That'll be on McKinley. That'll be his 3rd.
Folks, sometimes when you don't have it going, you need a prayer, and that's exactly what was delivered there by Jalen Celestine. Offense has been hard to come by for the Bearcats this afternoon.
There will be no asterisks next to that in the stat sheet.
That's right.
It will still say 3 points.
Yes.
Tugler to the line. He's a 67% shooter on the year. Last time out, Houston won at TCU on Wednesday, but Tugler was really hampered with foul trouble. Only 8 minutes in that game. And when you don't have Tugler out there, that's a pretty big weapon. Top 10 in the conference in both blocks and steals.
He's had 3 disqualifications on the year, all of those in the non-con. And talking to Coach Sampson yesterday, he's an excellent defender, but he has a tendency to be handsy. And when he gets handsy, all of a sudden there's 3-4 fouls. And the complexion of that defense changes when number 11 is not out there anchoring it.
Defensive player of the year last year. You take him off the floor, it's going to change anybody's defense. Even one as solid as Houston.
Yeah, Coach Sampson actually changed his defensive coverage because of JoJo Tugler's ability to be able to get out to a corner shooter.
Miller trying to find room against Cenac, and Cenac and Miller tied up. Possession arrow keeps it on this end of the floor.
Well, Coach Kelvin Sampson wanted to be physical against Baba Miller, and that's exactly what the Cougars have been this afternoon. He has not responded well. Nice job there by Cenac taking away his base.
0 for 4 from the floor, not a point for Baba Miller, who averages 14 a game. And a turnover. Ball lost by James into the hands of Uzan. Houston by 16, looking for more. Flemings been relatively quiet offensively, but he hits that too.
Yeah, he hasn't needed to because his teammates have been carrying him on the offensive end, particularly Cenac, number 5 in white.
First field goal of the afternoon for Kingston. Flemings extends the lead.
Yeah, he's so good. He just takes what you give him, and you're not giving him all the way to the lane. That pull-up is nifty. And the Cougar is expanding their
cancer back in 2000. It's something that every coach really embraces throughout college basketball.
One of my best friends, Dan Marlatt, 3 years ago, prostate cancer.
Under 10 to shoot. Miller zips it inside to Zella. Zella with the turn and the hook. He's playing more because Mustafa Cham limped off towards the end of the first half and has not returned.
And really good pass by Baba Miller underneath. And what I love about it is he didn't waste time. He went quickly before the double team could come. Need more of that from the Bearcats. They want to get back into this game.
Uzan toeing the line for another triple. His second of the afternoon. He's got 8 points.
Yeah, taking advantage of that stunt help. Kurt Kriisa went over to help, and that created that long closeout. Wide open three and able to knock it down.
Hit some huge threes in the first meeting between these two teams on the road back, as Miller still scoreless in this ball game. And a foul on the floor going against the Cougars. It'll be against Khalif. Come in this second half already. Was 0 for 2 at halftime, and that is not a sign that any Cincinnati fan wants to see. Mustafa Cham on the bench with a boot on his right foot.
Yeah, this Cincinnati Bearcat team just cannot get a break in terms of health. The idea was to have Kurt Kriisa, Dede Thomas, and Jizzle James on the floor at the same time. They've not been able to have that until today. And now all of a sudden their big goes out.
And there's the first two for Baba Miller. Degree of difficulty high on that shot, but he's finally into the scoring column.
A lot of time left in this game. He's got to be more aggressive on the offensive end, and they've got to figure out a way to get Jizzle James, number 2 in black, going.
Here's Flemings, size it up James. He likes the window, couldn't get it. And then Kriisa has it poked out of his hands by Emmanuel Sharp. He'll stay with Cincinnati.
Because of all the switching that Houston does, there'll be some one-on-one opportunities for Baba, and he's able to use that versatility with the dribble, a little between the legs action to get one over Sacco.
Here's James to Miller, whips that pass into the corner to Tillery for 3. 2 good offensive possessions now, back-to-back for Cincinnati.
And that's the versatility of Baba Miller at 6'11". We saw him create his own offense 2 possessions ago, and what a beautiful pass with a little energy behind that thing to a wide-open Tillery who drills it.
Well, Kelvin Sampson said that's their best passer, Baba Miller. You saw his best pass of the afternoon right there. Here's Flemings, 7 to shoot for Sharp. And a bump by Jizzle James, and the foul, his first.
Well, folks, 2 possessions ago, you saw him make a one-on-one play to knock down a shot, and there, drew 2 to him, realized he had a wide-open teammate to his left, and that's a good pass, has a little heat on it, but right in the shooting pocket, and able to knock that one down. He's got to continue to create offense for himself and his teammates in order to climb back into this game.
Tillery gets the shot up, then shakes the sting out of his hands a little bit.
Like a back catcher with pitchers, you throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Flemings in the lane, just slithers to the rim, but he cannot get the roll. Cincinnati looking to build on a couple of good offensive possessions now.
Yeah, I love the early push, but didn't quite have the spacing to take advantage of it.
Miller again zips it over to Tillery. Probing Tillery. Trying to drop it to a cutter, and it's turned over. Sharp now on the push for Houston, end to end, and that shot won't fall. It's blocked out of bounds by Miller, but a foul.
And Keyshawn Tillery, only a freshman, but he'll learn. Whenever you're able to wedge off the ball handler that way, trust your bigs coming over the top to be able to block it, because Baba Miller was positioned beautifully to be able to take that one out of the air or block it out of bounds. That was an unnecessary foul there for Tillery.
2 at the line for Emmanuel Sharp. Excellent free throw shooter at 86%.
Big, strong body, deep range, excellent defender. Most outstanding player of the Big 12 tournament last year.
That ended the longest Bearcat run, which was 5-0, and then the free throw rattles off, but we have a violation and another opportunity for Emmanuel Sharp. You don't want to give an 86% shooter another chance.
No, that is for certain.
Tyler McKinley will check in off the Cincinnati bench. McKinley back out there with 3 fouls.
Emmanuel Sharp averages about 17 points a game, but he's been really good over the last 22 points a game. Not just
ends up 2 for 2.
Yeah, not just relying on the 3 ball either. Puts it on the floor, gets to the rack, he's got a pull up Jay, gets to the foul line as well.
So 2 points at the line for Sharp. And now a turnover for Cincinnati. Frustration for Wes Miller.
Yeah, the play to make that artillery was at the foul line and then get it to the short roll guy and let him make that cross-court pass. But he's growing and learning. He's only a freshman and he's very talented.
13 turnovers now for Cincinnati, and Sharp on a beautiful feed from Tugler gets 2 more, and a timeout taken by Wes Miller, and now a technical foul, I believe, has been assessed to Wes Miller. Looked like Marcus Pettigrew, as Wes Miller was on the floor, has, after the timeout, assessed a technical.
Yeah, I can't see what he was upset about, but Wes Miller was hot. Nice little pass underneath after that curl cut over the top. What a good pass there by Tugler. And that's why they missed Mustafa Cham, because Mustafa Cham at 7 feet tall would have come over and at least tried to alter that shot. And Wes Miller picking up a technical there. I can't tell if he's upset with his guys or upset with something that happened out there on the floor, or a combination of both.
It could be a little bit of everything. Emmanuel Sharp is going to go shoot those technical foul shots.
Kevin, we've seen it in the past where a coach is willing to take a technical to just try to fire his guys up. But Wes Miller was hot.
So he's out in the middle of the floor, and there's the technical. There was no timeout at that point. He was all the way out of the middle of the floor, and Marcus Pettigrew, our referee, says, nope, that's a technical foul.
He's still upset.
So a 20-point advantage now for the Cougars.
Kevin, still plenty of time, but you've got to get some stops, and you've got to be able to make some buckets on the offensive end, starting with this guy.
James turn in the corner, defense collapses, finds the open man, and that's Day Thomas for a triple.
And those opportunities will be there because of how intensely Houston collapses to the basketball. If you can see daylight and skip it across the floor, you get some wide open looks, well executed by the Bearcats.
And a whistle and a foul.
Chisel James able to get in the gap there, and Kingston Flemings having to come down and try to tag a guy below, and that creates a long closeout. No one able to get there, and Day Thomas drills that one.
Second foul on James now on this end of the floor. In comes Jordy Rodriguez, and out goes James. Houston up by 17. Sharp against Creasa. Step back 2. Tugler trying to keep it alive, and he does. Harwell able to scoop it.
Yeah, Tugler does a terrific job of keeping it alive when he can't get it himself.
Another chance for Houston. It's another chance for Sharp. Flemings penetrate. 12 to shoot for Harwell. And a foul on Thomas. Day Thomas slapping down on the ball, picks up his third.
Day Thomas did a really nice job of running Isaiah Harwell off of that 3, but that's the luxury that the Houston Cougars have, is if you're rotating out with smaller guards, their guards and wings are huge, and they're able to take you off the dribble to get in position. Day Thomas had nothing else to do but foul in there.
Already 6 fouls whistled against Cincinnati. In this second half, and one more free throw coming for Isaiah Harwell.
Former 5-star coming out of high school, Utah Gatorade Player of the Year, McDonald All-American. Had knee surgery last summer. Got him about 2 months behind, but he's coming on.
And Kelvin Sampson said, we're just going to keep working with him. We're going to keep encouraging him. It's hard in this league as a freshman.
Yes. He is one talented young dude, though. He's going to be exceptional.
And a little tangle up underneath. I believe it was Emmanuel Sharp who got caught in the wash with Jordy Rodriguez. Third on Sharp. And Uzan's going to return. $13 points for Sharp as he sits down for the moment. Thomas looking against Uzan on the drive into traffic and threw that one away. Turnover number 15 rather, for Cincinnati. Wes Miller's squad in some trouble with
Texas Tech, one of the top 5 1-2 punch combinations in the country. They've had a terrific season.
7 second-half turnovers for Cincinnati, and Houston's already scored 10 points off turnovers in the second half alone, and that's helped them extend this lead.
Yes. Are you suggesting that ball security is important?
I think it seems to be a big deal. Here's Uzan, the open three. A little bit strong that time, and Baba Miller going through Isaiah Harwell, and he picks up the foul.
That's another area of the game that Cincinnati's not been able to take care of either. Early in the game, they were completing really good defensive possessions with a rebound. Not so much here in the second half.
At the line is Harwell. 7th team foul on Cincinnati, so the front end of the 1-and-1 is good, and Harwell just came in at a 62% free throw shooter, but he'll get the bonus. And for Wes Miller and Cincinnati, 20 points down on the road, still 11:25 to go.
Isaiah Harwell, only a freshman, 6'6", 220 pounds. That dude is a stud.
Yeah, you add in some of the freshmen that Kelvin Sampson brought in with the core that they brought back, and Tugler and Sharp and Uzan from that Final Four team a year ago.
And no drop off in terms of energy, effort, and work.
You've got those guys who teach the culture in the program and pass it on to those young guys.
Well said.
Krisa. And again, that shot clock winding down. They swarm Krisa. Celestine and a foul. 8 to shoot. And the whistle blows against Houston.
So smart by Celestine catching that, because Houston closes out aggressively, and if you can swipe that thing through, you can pick up some easy fouls, and that's going to be important for them to try to get to the foul line early to put some points on the board without the clock moving.
And Walker Jr. with his first. In the corner, the three for Thomas rolls off. Looking for the rebound, it'll go out of bounds to Houston. Battling Rodriguez for it was Kingston Flemings, and Rodriguez the last to touch.
And how about the sportsmanship from Kingston Flemings? Flying over the top, trying to get an extra possession. And Kingston Flemings pointed at him that it was
yes.
he who the ball was off of. He actually reached out and picked him up off the floor. I love that sportsmanship.
After he made sure everybody knew that he was the last one to touch it.
That's right.
Harwell, after the defense fell down, he got an open look and he made him pay. Largest lead for Houston at 24. And ball batted away. Flemings with the steal. Another Cincinnati turnover, but Flemings can't secure it, and it's out of bounds. Back to the Bearcats.
Well, this defense has been swarming, but Isaiah Harwell, I mean, my goodness, how talented is this kid? Versatile, capable shooter, good rebounder with size, skill, and toughness. Sounds like a lot of those players on the Houston Cougars sideline and on the floor.
Second best scoring game in conference play this year for Isaiah Harwell. He's got 9, and a 13-3 surge for Houston to open up this 24-point lead. Tillery found a crease. Left that one short with the shot clock winding down. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Houston basketball.
Good hands.
Back in comes Alvin Zella.
I like when Zealot's in because he's a guy that they can give it to the Cincinnati Bearcats on the box, and he can actually make a quick move. So let's see if he can get some offense going here in the painted area for the Bearcats.
Harwell again. He's looking for those threes. That one won't go this time. Got a good look, though. Nothing doing inside. Saved versatility. In the corner, James for three. And the rebound secured by Harwell, looking to push with numbers. Harwell weaving through traffic to the rim, no. And the rebound, Zella. But he throws it right into the hands of Miller.
Yeah, when you save those underneath the basket, you got to throw those towards your basket, because typically, obviously, your opponent's right underneath the basket. Appreciate the hustle and the effort, but he's got to throw that thing on the other side of the floor.
They paused this to get the clock set, reset it to 26. And Baba Miller coming back into the ballgame. Are you surprised at how well Houston has been able to take Baba Miller out of this ballgame from an offensive standpoint?
Well, they've been, yes, to answer your question, but part of that is they've been able to, Houston run two tall guys at him with their hands up, taking away his vision. And so when you're playing against a guy that is that talented, you got to make him a scorer or a passer, and they've been comfortable with making him have to be a passer this afternoon.
Uzan on the run, high off the window. Milos Uzan with 10 off the attack.
That was so sweet.
Here's Miller trying to get aggressive. There's that double that comes, and the ball tipped out of bounds. It'll be Houston ball.
Folks, this is high level because anyone can make a layup uncontested, but this is what separates the good ones from the great ones, and that's his offhand. Look at how high this thing is off the glass with perfect touch. Well done by Milos Uzan. That was pretty.
15-3 run for Houston to open this one up. Uzan. I think he expected Sacco in a different location.
Yes.
Either that or he was trying to give a souvenir to some lucky fan.
Yes, he was trying to manipulate the low guy, and I think he thought the low guy was going to stay with him, but he actually went with with Sacco, and so that lob just wasn't there.
That lob was not what they had in mind. 5 turnovers in the last 9 possessions for Cincinnati. See what they can do here with 10 to shoot. Again, late shot clock. Baba Miller, nowhere to go. The skip across, and a foul. Oh, Harwell bailing out Cincinnati. 4 to shoot, and Harwell with the reach in his second.
Yeah, Celestine drove him to the baseline the time before. You know that's what he's thinking about. He doesn't want to get ripped this time. Too handsy there. Commit that foul.
I think the freshman knows he'll be hearing about that one when they're going over defensive tape.
Yes.
Here's Miller. He has had a Cougar on him every single time he's touched the ball this afternoon.
Making him play in traffic. And he's been uncomfortable all afternoon long.
Harwell, 6 to shoot, and Harwell fouled by Jizzle James. That's his 3rd. Free throws coming. 18-3. Can't get to the free throw stripe. Have turned it over 17 times. 21 points off turnovers. It's just been an avalanche today that Cincinnati has tried to dig themselves out from under all afternoon long, and it's awfully hard to do because Houston doesn't let up.
Yeah, and if you go big, small, usually you're able to loosen it a little bit with a little big on small middle ball screen, but Houston does such a great job of stringing that out. It makes you try to execute that from almost half court, and so the smaller guards of Cincinnati have no vision to be able to get it to the open guy.
Day Thomas to Baba Miller. Just 2 points, 1 for 7 shooting for Miller. He'll launch in the corner, and that three short. Zella the offensive rebound, and he's fouled. And now Cincinnati will go to the free throw line with Halvin Zella, who's 7 of 10 this year.
Yeah, Zella's really given them Cincinnati some good minutes coming off the bench tonight. His energy and activity has been palpable out here. He's been on the offensive glass, running the floor hard, scored early from the right block. I like what we're seeing from number 65 in black.
Zella, the sophomore from France, limited time last year as he misses that first free throw. And why is he getting more time? Because of that. Mustafa Cham, first half, rolled that ankle. They've got him in a boot. He's clearly not coming back today. But again, it's just constantly for Wes Miller, somebody else on that injury report. They've never been able to get that full strength team on the floor this year.
And it really disturbs both your offensive and your defensive continuity. It's hard to find the rhythm. That's why I look down and I'm always amazed that they have the 6th most efficient defense in the country, right?
Here's Uzan. Day Thomas on his hip, 15 to shoot. Miller, nice elbow jumper. Some really good minutes for Mercy Miller today.
Oh, he's so smooth. There's no question about his talent offensively. Coach Sampson's just wanted his defense to take another jump, and he's really answered the call.
Top 50 recruit coming out of Notre Dame High School, where he averaged almost 30 points per game, and a tie-up turns it back over the other way.
A masterpiece kid, just showing tremendous poise as he gets into the paint, and a little step back to create a little separation. That was pretty.
Student section, you hear them chanting, "We want Ced." They're looking for Cedric Lott.
Oh,
that's who they're asking to come into the game behind us.
I thought they were saying, "We want Kev."
They don't want me in the game.
Okay,
in any scenario.
I was hoping
they could be up 40. They don't want me in the game.
I was hoping.
Flemings for 2. It's been a quiet afternoon for the talented freshman Kingston Flemings, just 7 points.
Well, his teammates have been so good on the afternoon offensively, they've not really needed him to have a huge impact on that end of the floor. And that's one of the things I love about him, is he plays at his own pace, doesn't worry about scoring. He just wants to win the game.
Low toss to the corner, and that triple will drop for Tillery, plus a foul. That's good work by Keyshawn Tillery to go down and get that pass and get it up for a 3.
And it's really good by Day Thomas, able to get a little separation, because again, the bigger guards and the taller bigs of the Houston Cougars have been taking away his vision, yet he was still able to get that over to Tillery. And how about the concentration from the freshman, able to drill that one, opportunity for a 4-point play here.
As Miller picks up his 2nd foul. And a 4-point play for Cincinnati. They need a bushel basket of those to get back into this game.
For Houston, they should just run clock, not really look for any shots till around the 8-10-second mark on the shot clock.
Here's Cenac, steps into a 3, a little bit short, and the rebound pulled down by Thomas. Still 5.5 to play. Miller, quick attack, dump down to Zella. And a foul sends Zella to the line.
Zella's springy and bouncy down there, and he gives you that little quick up fake because it's so quick as you respond. Now he's got guys flying up in the air, able to get to the foul line.
Khalifa Sacco with the personal.
When you're down, that clock's your enemy. So when you get to the foul line and put some points on the board without the clock moving, advantageous for the Bearcats. Can
Zella take advantage? Too strong on that one. Tugler returns, Walker returns.
Zella's got a good-looking stroke. I'd just like to see him keep that basketball out in the front of his face a little bit more. That'll give him a little bit of more rotation on the basketball and soften it up a little bit.
Zella, with some international experience, was the captain of the French under-20 FIBA team. Averaged 8 points, 4.5 rebounds with them. He'll leave for McKinley. Here's Miller. Flemings in the corner. An offensive rebound for Tugler.
That's that 7'6" wingspan right there. He didn't even jump.
Didn't have to, right? What an advantage.
Good flash.
Flemings in the paint. Uzan. Up and under, gets to the rim for two.
That's just wrong. Did you see the body control on that one?
Impressive.
I thought he was going to travel.
Kelvin Sampson was asked this week about Milos Uzan and why he's always the guy that seems that takes those big shots as he commits the foul here. And he said, you know what, he's not afraid to fail. Failure's a big part of what we do. And he said, Milos is very mature. He knows it's part of the process. He's going to take big shots because he's not afraid to fail when he takes those big shots.
Well, clearly he wasn't afraid to fail there.
No, he was not.
Because with such good body control, and you can see he's trying to decide which hand he wants to score that one with, whether it be his right or left.
There's a fun commentary about what Kelvin Sampson is looking for from his guys. And he said, we have a lot of guys who are willing to take that big shot at the end of the game. But it seems like more often than not, Milos Uzan becomes that guy. And he did certainly in the first meeting with these Bearcats in Cincinnati.
He's been so good. And I've been so impressed with him because he...
Offensive rebound, Celestine. He'll go to the line and take his chances after McKinley missed a couple.
Because it's not an easy change for a guy. You know, at his previous school at Oklahoma, he was off the basketball, came here, was on the basketball full-time last year, and then coming into this season, I don't know if anyone knew that Kingston Flemings was going to have the kind of year that he's had, and now he's had to adjust back to being off the basketball, and to see him just continuing to defend and not sulk and to continue to play the game to win. What a mature young man. I'm so proud of him.
Two for two for Jalen Celestine. Houston's lead is 25, coming up on 4 to play in this one. Uzan, that floater will drop, and Uzan now with 14.
Well, he's so good. He's so patient and poised when he gets below that foul line. Cannot speed him up.
Miller has tipped out to Celestine for three, but a good find from Miller to get it to Celestine in the shooting pocket.
Yeah, Celestine is a really good catch and shoot guy. 37% from three for a career coming into this game.
Uzan again. Tugler with the hook, leaning in, and Tugler's got 6.
Yeah, JoJo's caught the basketball against that zone of Cincinnati, and he's been so poised and patient in there, making the proper move.
Got squared up to the basket and able to get that one to drop as Tillery splashes down a triple. His third from range this afternoon, and a timeout taken by Houston. 3:21 remaining in this second half, and the Cougars with reason to applaud and reason to smile. They're on their way to win number 19 on the season. All right, maybe season for St. Louis.
They're worthy of it. Efficient offensively with a stout defense, shooting 41% from three. That's second in college basketball. 7 guys averaging double-figure scoring. And my man Robbie Avila, baby Jokic from Indiana State, is having a fantastic season.
Tugler on the drive. He's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Alvin Zella with the personal. 3:10 to go in this second half, and for For Houston, you've got UCF coming in on Wednesday, and then the Cougars do the BYU-Utah tour out west.
Yeah.
Not an easy back-to-back.
UCF is having a really good year right now.
Mike DeCourcy has him, I think, as a 7 seed in his latest projection.
Yes. This Big 12 continues to be just a monster of a conference.
Houston 15 of 18 at the line in this one. Three minutes to go. Tillery turns the corner. Celestine, elbow jumper. It's a tough shot. Made it look easy.
Yeah, Isaiah Harwell did a really nice job of running him off that three, but the patience to be able to knock that one down by Jalen Celestine, impressive.
Flemings. Here's Tugler, one hard dribble, the hook won't go, and somehow Tugler stays with it and saves it to Uzan.
It's amazing how many possessions he keeps alive with his hustle.
Able to secure that one. 7 to shoot. This has been a scramble. Miller got a good look, and look where it ends up with Harwell. Ball loose. Miller's got another chance at it, and now a tie-up. Possession arrow is going to send it to Cincinnati. But you're a team that's up by 22 points in the final 2.5 minutes of the game, and the crowd applauding the effort from Houston.
Yeah, you don't play the clock, you don't play the score, you play the moment. And this is what separates the Houston Cougars from most teams. I mean, whether they're up 30, tied, down 10, the energy and the effort on the defensive end does not change, stays at a high level.
And a turnover once more for Cincinnati. The three will drop. Isaiah Harwell. He's got 13. His best game since 20 against Jackson State. "90 seconds to go in this one. It'll stay with Cincinnati.
Yeah, Isaiah Harwell has been in a really good rhythm. Again, the 6'6" freshman, he's got a lot to his game. 3-ball, can drive it, he's got hops, and look at the reaction by the bench. Loving it.
And Cedric Lott into the game for Houston. The students have been asking for him. Ask and you shall receive. Lott on the floor for the 12th time this year.
You sure they weren't saying put in chaos?
I'm 100%. I asked them during the last media timeout. They assured me they want no sign of me anywhere in a basketball uniform or on the floor.
I'm not sure about that one.
I'm 100% sure. It'll stay on this end of the floor. 3.5 on the shot clock.
Kevin Sampson wanted Mercy Miller to really grow on the defensive end, and he's really responded. He does a nice job of keeping the basketball in front. Got a little bounce to him, too, able to block that one out of bounds.
Gotta get that ball in. Celestine in the corner, that three, no, and there's Miller with a rebound.
He's everywhere. Scoring, blocking shots, rebounding, 25 in white, impacting this game.
Kingston Flemings coming up on a minute to go. Flemings on the drive, changed that shot to Zella. And now Cincinnati in the open floor with Rodriguez. Celestine, three. And Jalen Celestine, it's been a bright spot today. He's got 15.
He has, and Cincinnati needed a lot of that a lot earlier in this game. But you look for opportunities to build. That's something to continue to build on.
Uzan just content to let a little clock run here. Oh my, breaking ankles out there late in the game.
He didn't.
Oh.
Some things just leave you speechless, and that is one of them.
Ten seconds to go. Tillery will turn the corner on his opposite number. Tillery again, wriggles to the rim for two more. Artillery will end with 14. 2.9 to go, and Houston will dribble this one out. 19-2 Houston. 7-1 in the Big 12 as the Bearcats